It's Monday. What up? How was your weekend? I had a great weekend. Just celebrated Canadian Thanksgiving yesterday. I think it's today actually, but we did it yesterday. First time doing that. First time making a turkey. That was pretty epic. Turned out amazing. I follow Sam, the cooking guy. He's my meat guru. Helped me out a lot on that one. Especially since I didn't know what I was doing until the night before, and then I looked up and I'm like, oh shoot. So I actually ended up finding a fresh turkey, magically, and brined it overnight, and then did all the good stuff yesterday, and it worked. It did the turkey thing. The magical turkey thing. Now I got all these leftovers. Gonna make some turkey food this week. I don't need to buy any meat this week at all, which is cool. Save me some money. Anyways, so this week, last Friday, ended up being a nice move up. Beautiful London train move. This one, let's see. So we had a lot of sideways activity in the Tokyo session. The London session's been moving down, so I'm but it moved down and then it made a big spike down and then it came up and it's been sideways. So I'm not, I don't feel like I'm going to go with the London train this morning. I'm going to look for, so if we're not doing the train, then I'm going to look for there's two things. This could either be a pump, or we could, if this closes up, then we could get a gun blade. If we look at the bigger picture, okay, yeah, so this has come down, it's double bottomed, it's come up, it's pulled back to where it broke out of. We could get a move up today. It could just keep cruising down too. So this thing is preempting a move up close to open, so let's see what it does at open. And let's see how this bar progresses. And go from there. Yeah, and it's just beautiful right now. There's all the leaves are falling, they're changing colors. The aspens are all yellow, and they'll be mixed in with the evergreen. So see the yellow with the green and the white of the trunks. And then you're walking, when you're going on hikes, there's leaves all on the ground. All right, so far, looks like it's deciding what to do. Pushing up. Yeah, it's pushing up. But it's pushing up, but it's not like blasting up or anything like that. It looks like it's getting to the top of this range. There's a lot of resistance. It's coming down. So I was doing, I've been doing some calisthenic training, and I've been practicing my handstands, and I'm getting better at them. And yeah, okay, so this is definitely not a pump. We're not getting a train. We're not getting a gun blade. So honestly, now we're really just looking for a break to the top side at whatever point, and then when this closes, we're looking for a hyper jump. So yeah, this might not be too interesting of a day, given how this is opening. It's interesting how you can kind of tell what's going to happen today just based on what's going on. I mean, the overnight, there's lots of movement for sure, but there's like mixed agendas going on. Like you've got this pennant pattern here from Tokyo, the Tokyo pennant. And then you have this interesting push down, but then there was a big spike down and then it returned back to where it broke from, and now it's like at the point where it's like, okay, well, what do we do now? And that's what they're trying to figure out. All those people in the world, they're trying to figure out what's up. We need like a Trump tweet to move this thing. All right, so yeah, I was doing handstands yesterday, and I was at the playground. It was like, it's like one of those playgrounds where there's wood chips. Well, it wasn't a playground. It was actually a bar park where there's like all different kinds of bars to practice calisthenics on. And there's like these pillars there that I use, these big pillars that I use to do kick-ups, and then I'll let rest my feet and practice my handstands. I was doing that, and it was good. And then I was doing a kick-up, and then my foot hit the pillar, weird, like kind of like in a weird angle, and I was trying to balance myself, and then I ended up spinning and falling down, and I couldn't catch myself in time, and I just landed like right on my face in all these wood chips, and I heard like my neck crack, and like my face was all smashed in with these chips. And there was a dude, and I got up and I was like, I thought that sounded pretty, like you could hear the fall, and I made a noise or something. I said something like oh fuck or something like that. You know what I mean? And like you could hear me like falling and stuff on my face, of course. And there was like this old dude, like not old dude, but like older dude, near me, like maybe like 10 feet away from me, not that far. He was stretching, and he like didn't look over. I mean, maybe he was like, I don't know, in his own little world, but he didn't look over or anything. Or, I was like, damn, this guy's cold. I kept working out, but then like I felt my face and there was like blood on my hands. I'm like, oh shit. So I went to my car and I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh damn, I really like smacked myself. I'm like red all over, have all these red splotches. I'm like bleeding, and so like I put, it wasn't a lot of blood. It was like just a tiny bit, and I put some napkins on my face, and it stopped bleeding pretty quickly. So yeah, it wasn't bad at all, and it didn't really hurt that much. It was just a little bit of a sting, but I definitely felt pretty dizzy. But I finished up my workout, ran to the market. After about an hour or so, the dizziness went away. So yeah, it wasn't that bad of a fall, and the pain went away too pretty quickly. So, but this morning, yeah, my neck's not too bad. I think if I rotate it in certain directions, it feels a little bit funky. Yeah. Oh, there it goes to the downside. There it goes. There it goes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, when we're looking for those pumps, we want it to just cleanly clear. And that creates a lot of potential energy for it to really go hard to the downside, right? Here, and then the Tokyo Tree, we're looking for just consistent push down to use that momentum. Like, you have to use these concepts of, it's kind of like physics, I'd imagine, is how I've always looked at the market, is as if there's like this movement of energy. Like, it must be like spring, like when you get to the section in physics class on like springs, and you pull it back and it builds energy, and then it expends that energy, and then I don't know. Or when things are moving down at an angle and they have a certain amount of friction coefficient. Well, that stuff I don't remember. But the way I look at the market is when it's at certain angles, there's a certain amount of sustainability it has. Because it's almost like there's snowballs, but then all snowballs are almost like connected to rubber bands. And there's like bumps in the road. So it's like the snowball hits the bumps and bounces down. But if it's going down super hard, it's like pulling on the rubber band, and then it launches the other way. Like, it's like the most silly like physics experiment. It's coming down. Going down. It's interesting it tapped into that guy. Yeah. Then Saturday, I checked out something really cool. It's this place called Envelop SLC that started in San Francisco, and they have this 32 speaker system of surround sound. They have all these pillars of lights, and they take these albums. Some of them are like stereo or 5.1 albums, and they upmix them to match all the different speakers in the room to make it like, it's almost like, it's not even like surround anymore. It's like spherical sound. So you're in this like little like womb, and they give you some tea or water, and then you get some blankets and lie down, or you can do whatever you want. They give you pillows and stuff, and they have these like little listening parties where you're basically enveloped in the album. And I went, and they were playing a Tipper album, and I've always been a fan of Tipper for a long time. And they played his Surround album, which is a 5.1 album. He's very experimental, electronic, and really into those kind of things, surround and experimenting with different forms of musical expression. And yeah, so we listened to his album, and it was a trip. I mean, I've never listened to music in that way before. It's almost like you're in the middle of like the universe, and like you look around and you hear and you can sense like stars and shooting stars and galaxies and all these different things. They're just shooting through you and above you and below and to your sides and behind you and all over the place. Like, and it's like, and his music's so trippy, it's almost like, because it's so spatial, you start to almost feel these feelings and movements and energy and visualizations and things that are like inside of you and outside of you, and it's a really trippy experience. I was totally sober, and I was totally discombobulated. Like, it was almost like his music was just picking my brain apart, which felt totally activated, because it was like my brain was just firing on all cylinders just to process where all these sounds were coming from and how, and the feeling of it, and this sort of like transcendental musical experience. And it was mind-blowing. So very cool. Oh my god, yeah, I left, and for like several hours after leaving, I was like analyzing my brain and the way my brain processes information. It just felt so different after that for a little while. It almost felt like everything was like separated out and like scattered around and very discombobulated thinking processes for a little while. It was so crazy. I definitely want to go back. They're doing a Pink Floyd album. Let's see. What else are they doing? Next, they're doing Ryuichi Sakamoto, his Async album. I checked out a little bit of his work, but I think I'd check it out a bit more. Then they're doing Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here album. They're doing Steve Reich, music for 18 musicians. I don't know that artist. Radiohead, A Moon-Shaped Pool. Radiohead. That might be cool. Marvin Gaye, What's Going On, and You're the Man. That would be cool. That'd be interesting. Full on surround. You're the man. That's interesting. And then Suzanne Ciani, live quadraphonic. I don't know that artist. Yeah. Very interesting. Won't be able to make Marvin Gaye or Suzanne. Radiohead's a possibility. Or the Steve Reich. Ricci's a possibility. Pink Floyd's a possibility. So we've gotten to move down. It's bouncing around over here. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, this thing kind of set up in a funny little way where it's like, we got a pop, but we didn't get a super pump. We got this little pop, and then it's been coming down in London, and then it came back up, double tapped here, which set itself up for a downward move. It just isn't in any of my systems. So, and then it didn't really shoot up to Gunblade. So, we got a bank holiday. Okay. What's the bank? Bank holiday 19 October 14th. Oh, is it Columbus Day? Okay, that's right. I remember now. Yeah, it's a trip because it's not a holiday that messes with whether the markets are playing or not, but it does close the banks. So that is something to consider. Because if the banks aren't participating today, then that could affect. Oh yeah, because banks make up a significant percentage of the trading volume. So if the banks aren't playing today, then that could be that this is more of like a small player day. Especially since Columbus Day is a U.S. holiday, so that would be U.S. banks. So that would be the U.S. session, which would explain why there was a decent amount of movement in the London, and now it's questionable. But it is October, and October is full of magical surprises. It definitely is full of treats and tricks. October is definitely full of tricks and treats. Which, while Columbus Day is one of 10 U.S. legal federal holidays, most businesses remain open on this day. Alabama, Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Georgia, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Dakota, Utah, that's me, Virginia, and West Virginia all observe Columbus Day according to office holidays. I should tell that to my boss. Well, I'm not. My boss is in California. They don't observe Columbus Day. But most of our customers are in Texas, so Texas does not observe it. California doesn't observe it. Illinois does, so McHenry might be off today. And we do have a customer in Norwalk, Connecticut, which does observe it. So that means maybe Norwalk and McHenry. Oh, Norwalk's pretty. All right. Market's cruising down. Just poked through that low of the overnight. Well, I think I will probably buy a loaf of sourdough. I've got some mayo. I'll just get like a tomato, and some greens. And I might still have greens. I'll eat like turkey sandwiches. Turkey sandwiches. So it looks like we did poke poke, came down, and now it looks like it's poked around at this low here. It looks like it's bottoming out, setting up for a move up potentially. We had this big move up here. We got this pull down here. This could be stopping out and then get another ride up. That would be our ticket. If that occurred, then that would be our ticket to the show. But in order to do that, this thing's got to bottom out. This thing's got to shoot up enough to close the bar here, and then it's got to pull back deep enough to give an oversold signal. And that all has to happen before 10 a.m. And most of these kinds, well, these signals could either happen 8, 9, or 10. So, yeah, we'll see. I think since this is going to take some time to set up in that manner, I'm going to go get some tea or coffee. Tea or coffee, too. Maybe I will get a basic coffee. Cool. Yeah, I'm not too anticipating too much today. I might not even get a trade in today. Totally cool with that, knowing it's a bank holiday. So, yeah, I'm going to close up the stream. Trade well. Good luck today. Take it easy. Don't go too hard. Unless you see an awesome opportunity, which I don't know if this is going to be that day. So, in any case, Tuesdays are usually really good days for movement, volatility. So I will see you tomorrow. Peace.